Welcome to another exciting edition of the EPL Fanbase Show. Today we shall look at the upcoming fixtures, match day 3, and I'll be joined in the studio by football pundits as well as my co-host Brian. This is yours truly, FM Steve. Stay tuned. Let's try to look at the upcoming fixtures. This Saturday, Manchester will be away to Brighton, Crystal Palace, Everton, West Brom, Chelsea. So let's start. And of course, on Sunday, Burnley will play Southampton, Sheffield and Leeds, Tottenham, Newcastle, Man City, Leicester, West Ham, Wolverhampton, Fulham, Aston Villa, and Liverpool, Arsenal. So I want us to try and focus on the big games. We'll look at the Brighton United match, Crystal Palace, Everton, Chelsea, West Brom is not a big match, and Man City, Leicester, and then Liverpool, Arsenal. So let's start with Brighton, Man United. I'll start with Simon. What do you take of that game? Brighton are on fire, and Man U are visiting. I will be away to Brighton. What's your take on that match?
I think this for me is the biggest game of the season so far, for obvious reasons. That we are already playing catch up in match week 3, and if we don't watch out, we could find ourselves 9 points behind our competition. And I've really been encouraged by how Brighton have started the season. I think they are playing very well, and there's a boy at Brighton that I know will give us problems. The right back, Lamptey, who Ronnie's team gave away. I think Lamptey is a breath of fresh air. He's not afraid of taking the ball forward, but again, that for me is his own weakness because he goes forward a lot. So it will be an area we want to exploit. I know we are visiting, so the pressure is not as much as us being at home. I expect us to have an easy win. Should be a routine win, but then if at all Ole plays his cards right, I think he needs to just stop experimenting. I don't know what Timo Fosumensa has given him.
So what's your prediction?
Prediction for that game: United 4.
Okay.
Okay,
fine. Ron, what do you take of that game? Brighton playing United at home.
It's a very interesting fixture. I've seen Brighton. I've watched both of their games, the one against Chelsea and also their most recent against Newcastle. They are a very organized team, and when the new coach came in, he's established a brand of football where there is interpassing, good movement on the ball, and organization. I remember against Newcastle, I watched the defensive formation they had. Brighton very, very organized, and then they also have a top target man. He came down from the championship, but he's been doing well. What's his name again?
Neil Maupay.
Yes, Maupay. He scored 2 goals for the first time. Remember the name Maupay, Man U fans. Probably is a punch to score against Man U anytime in the game he will score. Actually, then you talk about Lamptey. He limped off the last game. Maybe not sure if he will play. But seeing their organization, and of course, Man U have to make a statement. I saw the defending. It was calamitous. It was high school defending. You'd see the crosses of Crystal Palace going through the entire defense. Then you ask yourself, what kind of organization is there? So defensively, Man U have to step up, and they will be itching to put the record straight. It will be a tough game, but I think Man U will get over the line. I think they'll win the game. Not comfortably, but they will just clinch the win.
Okay, great. Now, Carissa, what do you take of that match? Brighton United.
Well, I think Manchester will win this particular one simply because they can't afford to be behind that much, and I'm sure Ole has learned his mistakes against Palace, and he'll try to put in a good team. Brighton is a very good team, but I think the likes of when they're playing Manchester, big teams as well, they seem to crack a bit and make mistakes. So I think Manchester will carry the day. Maybe 3-1 Manchester.
Okay, Gidi, what's your take?
Yeah, I have to agree with the guy who is seated in front of Old Trafford there, because, because you see, Manu will approach that game as a cup final. I watched United versus Leicester last season when they were really, that was the game to determine who is, they will say number 3 or the top 4. So if they approach it that they were so cautious with the ball, they did not want to make mistakes. And I think that is how they are going to approach it. They will go back to their tried and tested starting 11. So I would think United will be the stronger team here. But just as Ron said, it will not be such an easy game. But I would think United will have enough, because even the game that is being played right now, they are getting the match fitness that they require. So I think they will be fitter and they have better players. Sometimes these small teams might be organized, might give 110%, but it just calls for one moment of brilliance from Fernandez, a ball to Martial, and it's done. So that is the difference between these two teams.
Okay.
So for me, if I was to predict, I'm giving a 3-1 scoreline, or a 1-3 rather, to United.
Okay, before I take it back to Brian, my prediction, I'm predicting a draw in that fixture. Brighton are playing very well, and playing at home. I don't see United winning Brighton. So my prediction is the game will end in a draw. Now, I want to take it back to Brian, just to brief Brian on the fixtures we are looking at.
It's the weekend fixtures, right?
Yeah, except the West Brom and Chelsea. I think it's not a big match. I think Chelsea will carry it.
It
So
can be more complex.
So we wanted to look at the game of Crystal Palace and Everton. I think the top 3 at the moment. And also the game between Man City, Leicester, and Liverpool, Arsenal. So let me take it back to
Man City, Leicester must be on Sunday, right?
Yes.
And then, Arsenal visit Liverpool on Monday. Okay, fine. So you fancy Crystal Palace and Everton as a big clash to watch out for, right?
Yes.
All right. Let's start with Simon, the Manu guy. What do you think about that clash, Everton and Crystal Palace? Crystal Palace rather at home, Everton visiting.
I think Palace will be put back to their place. Everton, like we said earlier in the show, are showing a bit more maturity than they did last season. I mean, for the first time in a long time, I'm seeing Pickford living up to his calling as the #1 England goalkeeper. So I see this. It's a hard game, yes, but I see Everton scraping through with a 2-1 win, away win. And it's basically, like Gideon was saying, it's about the quality. It's James Rodriguez, Richarlison, and Calvert-Lewin have created much more chances than I expected them to create. But I think Everton are one team that we need to watch out for this season. So I look at it as a rather not straightforward, but a hard-fought win for Everton, which tests their credentials, but they'll come out on top on this one. Of course, I don't like.
Do you share the same sentiments? You don't like what you're saying? You don't like?
I'm saying I don't like Crystal Palace after what they did to me during the weekend.
Carissa, do you share the same opinion? What's your take on this game that's happening at 5 o'clock local time?
As I've said in the past, Everton, they are not high compared to many other teams. In fact, even as we speak right now, I think when you compare, the top four, the big four, the likes of Chelsea, Manchester, for example, Man City, and of course Arsenal, definitely they're just behind there. So given the fact that they have, the coach knows what needs to be done every match, because I've seen he's the only coach who plays kind of a different game depending on the opponent, and that's very critical. They don't make as much mistakes as they used to make in the past, and they take on chances. When you look at the conversion rate, so I think it's very, very impressive. So I think I'll go for Everton win, or giving up penalties or something like that. On play, I'll give it to Everton, maybe 2-1.
I'll not disagree with my fellow panelists here, and this because Everton have shown that they have what it takes, because like this game really seems similar to that they played against Spurs, because of when they play teams who are sitting deeper and they are able to get that pass to Calvert-Lewin. So you expect it will be a very, very tough game in terms of chances, because both teams, like I know Palace will not want to concede very many chances, but then this Everton team, there are no many excuses right now. The investment has been done. They have a good coach. There's competition for places for the players. So everything in terms of environment, it shows that they are here to win football matches. And I think this is one of those that they will nick over the line. And I'm giving another 1-0 score line.
Ron,
Yeah.
this Crystal Palace, you are playing them on the first weekend of October. That's on the 3rd of October. So I'm sure you'll be watching this match with a lot of interest. What's your take?
Yeah. Actually, I've been very impressed with both teams. I've watched both of their games. Crystal Palace, if you notice, Zaha has had a shift in position away from the wing. He's more central now, and he's got now 3 goals already. Yeah, and Everton, for all their organization through the middle, for Alan, Dakure, and James, they've been magnificent. But always their concern for me is that central defense, and it will be put under some bit of pressure, and it will be under test. Otherwise, I see the game as a scoring game. I think it will be. I want to step in the middle. It will be. I would predict a draw, a scoring draw.
All right. Great. Gentlemen, come Sunday, Man City, Leicester City. This is going to be a good game. I believe so. Leicester, I like them, by the way. I like their fluidity. I like the way they play the ball around. And when they find the Vardy up from there, he can do anything, anytime. So I'm expecting a very explosive clash. Carissa, what do you make of this game? Remember, Man City are trying to assert themselves after Liverpool have shown that they put a big gap between the second team last season. So Man City would want to give them that opportunity to go far ahead. Do you think this is the time they are going to show that the champions are back yet again?
Well, Leicester Man City, it's a very interesting game because they play different kind of football, if you ask me. There's passing football, I mean, coming from Man City. But again, Leicester is a team that plays direct football. They do the long balls, look for Vardy, right? And they look for other players on the flanks. So they just have to, Man City have to contain, the long balls. And once they do that, I think they'll carry the day. It's going to be interesting. Perhaps 2-1 again in favor of Man City. I'm not seeing any challenge, from Man City, because Pep has seen, he's been here with us for a long time, and he's seen how Leicester plays. So I'm not seeing any kind of a challenge as far as Man City is concerned in winning that particular game.
Oh,
So
Simon,
2-1
you're noisy.
in favor of Man City.
All right, Simon, your noisy neighbors. What do you make of them? Do you think they are going to carry the day?
Brian, thank you, for acknowledging them as the noisy neighbors. They remain noisy neighbors until will be out to get maximum points against Leicester. Because again, there's no room for slip up. Because any slip up then opens a gap between him and Liverpool. And we all know what happened last season when he allowed that gap to open up. It ended up being obscene, and I don't think it's a mistake that Pep will repeat. I watched their game yesterday, and they've corrected a lot of what was their problem last season. I think I like the look of Nathan Ake in defense. I think it comes down again to, can they keep their main players injury free? I mean, they're starting the season without Kun Aguero because of his injury, and yesterday again, Nathan Ake was struggling with something that looked like an injury in the past. So the biggest issue for me and City will be, can they keep their players fit? But I don't see Leicester posing such a big problem, especially because one of the most creative players, James Maddison, is not yet back. So comfortable win for me for City. 3-1, if you ask me. And I'm just being polite because
All right, I like you're being polite. You're very modest. Steve FM, what do you think of that game? Do you have a divergent view or still believe City is going to take the day?
I believe City will carry the day. If you look at the past seasons, this is one of the fixtures that is always entertaining. Leicester always try to do well against City, but City having lost to Liverpool, they will try to rectify the mistakes, and they can't afford to lose that fixture. So I'm going for a City win.
All right, Ron, give it to
Yeah,
Leicester, Ron. At least give it to Leicester.
another very exciting game. Leicester very impressive. The front, probably the front three have been in good form. I've seen Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes always coming off that left, very good. He's been looking good. And Pratt did not play for long the last game, but he's also been playing very well. And if you see the last game, I think Leicester put four goals past their opponent. And if you hear that Vardy did not score, then if you're Man City, you'll be concerned, yeah, because if you're looking at Leicester, many people would expect Leicester. It's Vardy up front, but that shows you something, that there is more to them than just Vardy. Expecting a high scoring game. I've seen Man City also. Foden is one to watch this season. He's going to get his chance. He's been in good form, and at the end of the season, and he's also come good. So De Bruyne, very impressive yesterday. Man City actually yesterday's game, they played only the first half. They were pushing, and then second half they were trying to get the shape together, contain what they have, and play off the counter. So, but I think it will be a difficult game. I will think Man City, the quality will show through. I'll be going for a high-scoring game. Probably, I'm predicting a scoreline like 5-2.
5-2 to City, right?
Man City, yes.
Giddy.
Yes, Brian.
Are you still? Are you with Man City like the rest of the pundits here?
I am, and the reason is that if this game was played at King Power Stadium, for example, I would give Leicester a chance. In fact, a very good chance, but they have performed poorly against the top six away from home. And I don't think it will be any different this time round, because you could see when City was playing Wolves, the hunger that they have to win the ball back once they lose it, the incisive passes from De Bruyne, those you could see how even Sterling was trying to hold the line so that the pass can. They have very nice passes between the front three. So Man City will be too much for Leicester, but Leicester also have players. But I think the difference would be the midfield, what Simon has talked about, James Maddison. So I won't give 5-2, but I'll go for
Wow, nobody is giving Leicester.
because of Aguero.
Nobody's giving Leicester a chance against Man City. All right, come Monday, 10:15 local time. The big one, gentlemen. Arsenal visits Liverpool at Anfield. Do we expect any different results? Okay, I don't mean Arsenal is going to lose. Neither
From
do
what?
I mean Liverpool is going to. Is there going to be a draw or a win? Let's start with Steve. Steve looked as if he almost wanted to jump out of his screen for my neck.
Okay, to be honest, I think Liverpool will be coming to. They are actually waiting for that fixture, because Arsenal has embarrassed them twice in a row. That is the last fixture of the last season, and of course Community Shield. So definitely Liverpool are looking, and they want to feel like, from the look of things, Liverpool are the big boys, and they just start feeling like these small boys wants to get used to us. So I feel like, and they've done good signings with Alcantara coming in their mid. I think Liverpool have really strengthened. Arsenal, unless Arteta tries to do with a good lineup. Otherwise, if they approach it the way they played versus West Ham, as an Arsenal fan, I'll be waiting for us to say, okay, the first loss of the season, but I'll be looking at it to be, I'll be looking at it so that the score should not be a cricket score. It can be so embarrassing when we go and lose 4-1, 5-1. So even if we are to lose, let it be like 2-1. I'll be happy with that score, to be honest.
Carissa, you don't seem to be happy with Steve's comments being an Arsenal fan. What do you have to say about that? Carissa is not happy at all. Sorry, Carissa. What do you have to say?
Well, I think twice now, and having beaten Klopp twice, I'm sure Klopp is doing his homework, try to see, where he went wrong in those last two games. On paper, you can say, Liverpool have an edge, but I don't think Arteta will accept, to be beaten like that. He'll want to prove a point. So if he gets the lineup right, if we avoid the mistakes against such a big team, then we have a chance at least sneak in a draw at Anfield.
Did you say sneak in a draw? Are you expecting to lose?
I think yes.
Oh, Giddy, your fellow fans, man, what do you have to say?
Okay, these guys don't believe. I'm the only one who believes that we are going to win the FA Cup from that kind of fixture list. But look,
I believe too, and we have a party coming up this weekend for the FA Cup.
I will be there. Now, Brian. So it is important to notice that this issue of errors is what we want to get behind us, because we are gifting. We used to gift goals. You find a team is just calm. They know that just a simple pass from the defenders to the keeper will create a mistake, then a goal, things like that. Let's avoid that. We avoid that first. We ensure we play 11 versus 11. That is very important again for this Liverpool side, because you give them an easy ride, Ron will tell you how these guys behave when they are given such a chance. So now, what we should be looking at keenly is that there's not that fear factor anymore. We go to games thinking we can win games. The culture is back, the winning mentality is back, and this is football. We saw how Watford went to that game and won last season, 3-0 against Liverpool. So it's doable, it can be done. And I think that is the message that Arteta will be giving the players. But I am realistic, and I know that Liverpool are far ahead than us, even when you look at the points difference. So the point here is play 100% and expect that Liverpool will have a 90 or 80%, or a bad day in the office, as Simon was saying, and then you can get a win. The first important thing is to believe that you can win. If Carissa and Steve were coaching this team, I would have been very, very low because they don't believe they can win. You have to believe you can win because it is a football match. In a football match, you have to believe you can
let me
win.
say something there. Let me say
There's
something.
also the reality
Yes.
on the ground.
Yes.
No, 1 minute.
Yes.
I've been
Yes,
a coach.
Carissa. Yes.
I cannot coach my players to go there knowing they cannot win the game. That is out.
Mm-hmm.
But as an analyst, as a pundit, I'll be honest enough to say,
Yes.
if and only if we
Yes.
don't, go there, concentration is up there, concentration is 100% there. We avoid those mistakes, we'll be punished by a good team called Liverpool. So,
All right,
so yes,
let
on
me-
paper, I'll say we have a small chance of winning the game.
Yeah, let me respond
Okay, go ahead.
because let me respond to that. I think that is true. As a pundit, of course, you have to talk about that. But then you are looking at two results where we won against them in the Community Shield and won the other league game. So I don't see where the negativity is coming from. Yes, they are stronger than us on paper, but football is not played on a A4. It's played on a football pitch. So
At that time,
for me, yes, they are stronger than us. We are playing at Anfield. No one, but again, look at Anfield. There are no fans. This is a football pitch like any other. So the issue of Anfield tag is not there. So if you are asking me the results, yes, I would agree with them that we can pull a 1-1 draw. But on another day, yes, it can become a 2-1 to Arsenal.
all right.
Fan.
Did you hear your defense very much? And also, we can say that time Arsenal beat Liverpool, there was still this cloud of darkness about your captain. Now that he has signed, maybe things are going to get much better.
Thank
Ron,
you.
I had Giddy saying, let's ask Ron from experience what Liverpool did for them. What do you have to say about those chances?
Actually, as Arsenal fans, when Arteta took over, there is something you have to get used to. That something is sometimes parking the bus. He's going to teach you how to defend, and he's already doing it. If you saw the West Ham game, seriously, if you saw the West Ham game, you would understand what I'm talking about. When West Ham was on top of you, and he kept the organization of the team, and that is a plus. That is a plus. Some people will say it is disappointing for us, no? But you need that resilience. It is what made teams like Manchester, Chelsea, to grind out results and be the champions that they were those days. So there is that touch Arteta is adding onto the Arsenal, and also they are playing off the counter, which is very good. Aubameyang is looking very good from the left side, and cutting in with Willian, very experienced. And really, there is hope. That fixture last season, it would be a no-brainer in the Premier League when you had Emery. But this time, I think it will be much closer. Much closer. I want to give the Arsenal a chance, but I think Salah is too good at home. He's too good at home. He's going to be at Anfield. But without a shout, of course, Arsenal will have something to say. I'll go for a slim, a marginal win for Liverpool. Marginal win for Liverpool.
Already the competition is up between Salah and Sané. One has scored 3 goals. Sané is following closely 2 goals. So we don't know what's going to happen that day. Let's hear from the guy at Old Trafford. Is this one of those games you'd wish that neither team could win?
Brian, this is one of those games I want both teams to lose. But
so you want a draw, which is very likely.
Believe you me, I really, really want Arsenal to win this game.
Wow, for once.
win this game, and my reasoning is simple. It's easier to play catch up to Arsenal than Liverpool.
Hmm.
I knew there was a bait somewhere.
Into that one. But yeah, as much as I want Arsenal to win, I have to be realistic and say I loved the look of Thiago Alcantara in that midfield. I mean, he took to Liverpool like a duck to water. You'd imagine he's been there more than 5 years, and it was his first game. I mean, he'd only had one training session, 1.5 training sessions with Liverpool, and yet by the end of the game, he had completed 75 passes, more than all of the Chelsea midfield combined. So I think they've gotten a good player. They've gotten a skill in Thiago Alcantara, and as much as I'd really want Arsenal to win it, I think this is the match that brings the Gunners back to us.
Back to you. Okay.
Thing, but Brian, my prediction will be not a cricket score, but 3-1 to Liverpool.
All right, gentlemen, we have to end it here. Thank you very much for being with us here. For the fans, thank you very much for keeping up here with us. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, the APL show, and also Facebook page, and click the notification buttons that you get to be notified anytime that you are on air. So thank you very much. Keep it here. See you again next time. Ciao.